So what is that mysterious readme.md file that we keep seeing in all of our projects that we create? MD stands for Markdown. So it's a README file that's been created out of Markdown. And README just means it's a file that you should read if you want to find out more about the project. Markdown is a shorthand version of HTML and allows us to write, instead of writing HTML, instead of creating a big H1 element, we can simply use a hashtag followed by the title that we want to display. So in this case, we say hashtag followed by a piece of text, which is my first website, my very first website, very first web page. There we go. And we can then give a paragraph. When giving paragraphs, we don't actually have to use any special notation whatsoever. So we can just say welcome. And the thing about this is the browser can read this as HTML code. So if I go ahead and do two hashtags, then it will give us a H2 element. This is very, very useful for creating documentation for projects and giving a high-level overview of what a project does. Markdown is not nearly as flexible as HTML is itself, which is why we should only use it for generating documentation, or if we have some documents that we want to mark up in a specific, if we want to mark them up quickly. And following the HTML rules, as you can see here, I'm just creating a load of H2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s. So if I preview this, we can see what it looks like in our would look like in our browser, which is basically just a HTML page. And we have all our paragraphs, we have each of our individual headings and so on. So let's go ahead and I'll close that down. We'll just get rid of all of these here because we just wanted us to see what they were like. And we can now go ahead and we will add our readme.md file to Git staging area. And the name readme.md is a convention that's followed. Git will usually pick up any readme.md files and display them under the directory listing on the web page. I'll commit this and do a push, so we'll be able to see that. And notice here we're just doing a git push instead of specifying our remote and our branch, because we've already specified these before, so we can do shorthand from there on. And I'll just enter my username and password, and there we go. We've pushed. If I head over to my GitHub page now, I'll be able to see that. I'll just log in. And if I go over to my very first website repository, we'll be able to see that readme.md file displayed under the directory listing in the repository. And there we have it. My very first web page, welcome, written in our very first README file. And that's all there is to it.